two NBA player props here on PrizePicks for Tuesday, April 16th. We got the NBA play-in tournament, NBA playoffs. It's officially here. I know I've been kind of, I guess I don't want to say lagging, but I haven't been uploading as much. But I was kind of waiting for the NBA playoffs to start. Obviously, this is the best time of the year to be betting on the NBA. So again, I'll have daily videos as long as there's an NBA playoff game, you guys, there will be a YouTube video on my channel for that day with two free player props here that I've deeply researched. Before I get started, you guys, take a look in the description below this video. Hop into our premium Discord. It comes out to 31 cents per day, $9.30 per month. Well over 400 members in there. Super positive community, or well over 400 members in the premium side. Super positive community. Everyone in there just trying to help each other cash. Members posting their plays, giveaways, things like that. So link in the description below for that. Also want to mention, I'm not a gambling expert, not financial advice. Simply just plays I'm personally looking at making. Hopefully give you guys some insight and analysis to then make your own player prop decisions here. Again, no one's pressing submit all those parlays other than yourselves. So let's get right into it. Obviously we got the two playing games today. My Lakers, if you didn't know, Laker fan. Lakers, Pelicans, and then Warriors, Sacramento. So should be some two very close games. And this one I'm expecting, I think the Lakers, I don't know why this isn't showing the spreads. Let's actually refresh this. I don't know why it's not showing the spreads. I believe they're super close though, both of them. I think the Lakers are 1-point favorites, and I think Golden State is going to be 1.5-point favorites. Nonetheless, both these games should be super competitive. I don't see a scenario where there's really a blowout in either of these games. But yeah, let's get into it. First play is going to be an NBA first half prop, and it's just one that I've been playing in the Discord. I can't stop playing it here. It's at Rui Hachimura over 10.5 first half PRA. Line doesn't really make sense to me given the hit rate and given the matchup, and just really given how the Lakers are running these rotations versus the Pelicans. So we look at Rui Hachimura really quickly. Obviously, he's been starting pretty much every 30 of the last 30 games. He's been in the starting lineup. Minutes wise, I'm taking first half because I just think it's a little bit of a safer floor. I mean, I'm expecting him to play heavy minutes in this game regardless, but 10 first half PRA to me just a little bit too low. So he actually averages almost three more points per game on the road, as well as a 1 whole plus more rebound per game on the road. So home versus away splits, he shoots 57% on the road compared to 50% at home. So great looking splits compared to home versus away. We look at this hit rate though, you guys. 10 first half PRA, obviously at 10 we get the push equity as well. But the hit rate is just too good to ignore. 16 of his last 20 in 2023, obviously since becoming a starter. Like if we do away games this is Outlier, you guys, by the way. Link in the description, 7-day free trial. This is a research betting tool that I do use every single day. But we look at Rui, right, in the first half when he plays, 11 plus minutes. Let's go to the last 14 plus minutes. I mean, just super elite hit rate. I don't know why I can't filter it for first half minutes, but 16 of his last 20 on the road. We go to last 10, 9 of his last 10 games on the road. He's hit the over on this. But to me, what's interesting is the head-to-head, right? So let's get this filter right. The head-to-head, right? So 18 and 20 PRA versus the Pelicans, and I believe this wasn't in the in-season tournament, but 18 first half PRA, 20 first half PRA. But the interesting thing for Rui is the minutes, the first half minutes, 21 minutes and 19 minutes in these two games versus New Orleans since becoming in the starting lineup, right? So we look at 20 and 19. Like if we look at some other games, there's last 10, 19 is an obvious outlier for his first half minutes. And I really think that's because Darvin Ham essentially likes him in his matchup against Zion Williamson, so LeBron's not guarding him and AD's not guarding him, right? They'd rather have Rui, just what it is, they'd rather have Rui rack up those fouls than LeBron or AD. So they give Rui a ton of minutes. I mean, just pretty much if Rui gets 18 plus minutes in the first half here, this line is way, way too low. Way too low. Even if we look at the last game, right, they just played the final game of the season, and I mean we saw Rui play the entire first quarter, right? I think he may have let's just look at this. I think he may have actually came close to this line in the first quarter. I'm gonna just show you guys. So this game starts, and this is obviously the first quarter. This game was close. Both these teams very similar playoff type of atmosphere. Rui gets a rebound, that's 1 PRA, right? Hits a 2, that's 3 PRA. Hits another 3 here, that is 6 PRA. Hits a rebound, that's 7 PRA. What else do we have here for Rui? And then another rebound, that's 8 PRA. Another rebound, 9 PRA. And then I think he actually hit this in the first quarter. Maybe not. 9 PRA in the first quarter for Rui. So he comes out in the first quarter. Right, he comes in. LeBron comes in for him to start the second. So he plays 12 minutes, and then I'm guessing he comes back in. Let's see when he comes back in. Rui Hachimura, 7 minutes left to go in the first. Right, and I definitely think it's to match Zion Williamson's minutes to be in there. Obviously, as well, I think we can expect New Orleans to go small again. Right, New Orleans went small, putting Trey Murphy and Larry Nance on the floor. All right, New Orleans wants both these guys on the floor. Valanciunas off. Even more reason to play Rui Hachimura, which essentially wouldn't bring Jackson Hayes onto the floor much at all. So I like Rui Hachimura here. First half, 10 PRA. I think we get elite push potential. And again, like if he plays 15 plus minutes, this should be pretty free. Again, that's just my opinion. But yeah, that's the first play. Second play is going to be a full game prop from the other game, Warriors, Sacramento. Obviously, these teams know each other very well. We're looking at a fantasy score. I'm looking at, where is he at? I'm looking at Jonathan Kuminga, over 23.5 fantasy score. Now, I think this is a game where we see playoff rotations get smaller, right? That's just naturally how it is. And I definitely see a floor of Jonathan Kuminga in this game with no Gary Payton. I'm seeing a floor for him, like RotoWire is projecting him for 29. I'm seeing at least like 26, 27 minutes for Jonathan Kuminga, right? On the season, he does average more points on the road as well. So, again, not really worried about the splits, the home versus away splits whatsoever. And also, I mean, the Sacramento Kings, the power forwards, the fourth most points and the second most assists, right? So, pretty solid matchup overall. But if we look at his fantasy score, hit rate, this is, again, it's an outlier. Right, his last 20 games, he's over in 16 of his last 20. Right, 16 of his last 20. If we go to away, 17 of his last 20. Right, let's just filter this to when he plays 28 minutes. 20 of his last 20 games, you guys, he's over in this line of 23.5 fantasy. I think in a playoff game, should see minutes rotations get smaller. I don't think the Warriors play Moses Moody much. And I definitely think Trace Jackson-Davis could get taken out of this game just based on his matchup with Sabonis. So I think Kuminga has a nice floor for minutes here. Obviously, the hit rate is great if he plays the minutes. If we filter this still away, 20 of his last 20. Look at some of these games that he's had. And then specifically this matchup versus the Kings, right? It's a decent matchup. He faced the Kings back in January. This game went to overtime. He had 43.1 fantasy points. And you can see kind of like how these games go and these stats that he needs to hit this fantasy score line. 25 plus minutes on the road for Kuminga, right? He's over this line in every game this season except for 2. He plays 25 plus minutes on the road, right? So even like the Warriors analysts and things like that, they're talking about, you can see this article, how they talk about Jonathan Kuminga and Wiggins are X factors for the Warriors playing game against the Kings, right? And even if you look at Kuminga his fantasy score points per minute, he's averaging 1.07 over his last 10, or 1.06 over his last 10 games. If you do the math, he plays 25 plus minutes. That's it's a very, very attainable line for him. And again, with Gary Payton off the floor over the last 60 days, Kuminga averages 39 fantasy points per 36 minutes, 1.1 fantasy points per minute, and obviously sees the third highest usage on the team. We're not going to talk about Garuba here. Curry, Thompson, and then Kuminga with GP2 off the floor. They obviously need a defensive presence to guard De'Aaron Fox. So I'm expecting Kuminga to get 28 plus minutes, and you obviously can see the hit rate when he does get those minutes, right? When he does get those minutes on the season, he's over in 31 of 33 games. So it's a great spot for Jonathan. There's the 2 plays for this YouTube video. Hopefully we get some good competitive playing games. Links are in the description below, you guys. Outlier link, 7-day free trial, Discord link. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about these two. Drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.